Do you believe in ghosts? What about spirits? Are you afraid of the things that go bump in the night? That and a lot more on today's episode of Unabashedly Speaking with Mimi and Mashonda.
Good evening. Welcome to Unabashedly Speaking with Mimi and Mashonda. I am Mimi.
And I am Mashonda.
How are you, Mashonda?
Girl, I'm doing all right. I've just been fighting this little virus, but other than that, everything is all good. How about you, love?
That's good. I am doing well. Enjoying the weather, not the pollen, but I'm enjoying the weather.
Yeah, so they actually said that this year's allergy season might put people in the ER, I was reading.
Yes, I read the same thing, and I have noticed that I've never had any problems with pollen. But this year, walking Cairo outside, I'm like, oh no, my nose starts itching, my eyes are burning. So I'm like, oh yeah, no, I will not be a victim to this. No. It is bad though. It's really bad.
Yeah. My son, James, he has really bad sinus issues. So poor thing. Like I'm going to have to see if he can just get his adenoids removed because it's horrible. It really is. But, so paranormal activity.
Yes. I mean, a lot of people think that paranormal activity is something that is evil, and it's not necessarily evil. It's really not. Some people may have, evil experiences, but the experiences that I've had haven't been scary at all. I mean, I'm pretty sure that everyone has had an experience and not really paid any attention to it, but it is normal. It's not like it's something that's out of the norm.
Definitely, and like you're saying, a lot of people, when they hear about paranormal activity or paranormal or spirits or ghosts or whatever you call it, they automatically, you have different, some people are just terrified, so they don't even want to hear it. They just want to act like it doesn't exist, out of sight, out of mind. Some people think that tapping into spirits and things like that is evil. And, some people, hey, they're all for it. I mean, right now there's such a big, trending thing with, you see all over TikTok, people trying to talk to ghosts and going to graveyards and stuff like that, and now some of them, I believe, are just straight up faking the funk, okay? Like rigging things. But some of this stuff really is true. It really is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I remember when my grandmother first passed away, my mom's mother, we would be asleep and we would hear the dishes in the kitchen moving because she loved to cook. Yes. So we already knew. We're like, yeah, that's her in there trying to cook something. But, we weren't afraid because we knew,
Exactly. Yeah, when I was young, I used to be way more tapped into that sort of spirituality. And I mean, I used to see ghosts. I used to be places where, because I grew up in Fort Sam Houston, that's where the Battle of the Alamo was. And there's a lot of spirits in San Antonio, Texas. It's probably one of the most haunted places in the country. A lot of spilt blood in that location between the Native Americans and the, people who settled over here and stole the land. We're not going to talk about that right now, but, and I, everywhere on posts is pretty much was old because some of those buildings were from back in those times and they were still there on military quarters. So I would go places and the building would shake. We would go camping at this lake and the bed would just shake side to side and stuff would just happen all around me. But as I grew up, I started to get a little less, tapped into that, which I'm kind of glad because I don't think I was ready for all that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I know you've seen a lot and felt a lot.
Yes, yes, and I still do, and I still
Yes,
do.
yes,
I'm just, I don't want to. I've never wanted to, scare, my children, but they have it too. So it's like they'll say, my head is. I was laying down and this happened. I was laying down and I felt the couch move, or I felt the bed move, or it would be some little incident, and I'd be like, yeah, well, it's fine, it's normal, as long as you're not getting scratched and
right,
held down, because I've had some. Now
right.
I've had
Some, yes,
crazy
you've definitely
situations.
had some spirits try to attack you throughout your lifetime. I can attest to that.
Yes.
Yes,
So
and people need to understand that some people are gifted to see spirits. Like some people will see ghosts here and there because the ghost energy is so strong that even an average person might catch a glimpse of them depending on where they are. But
right.
some people, even if the spirit of that ghost or person is not that strong, they have the gift of seeing spirits and communicating with spirits, like almost like they see regular people. Now this is
Right.
a gift, y'all. Don't be afraid. If you see spirits, you are completely normal. You're not evil. Nothing's wrong with you. This is actually a gift, and it's one of the best gifts that you can possibly have, because that means not only are you meant to help people who have passed on, but you can also help people who are still alive. Because believe it or not, there are a lot of people who have passed away who are stuck and have not been able to either find peace, or some of them end up in the dark place and they are not able to move on. And so people like you can actually help them to move on. And my girl Mimi, she is one of them people who have the ability to see and communicate with spirits, among other things.
Yeah. Yeah. I will never ever forget the moment that I met Pam, and I'm still looking for Pam. Like, if you don't know Pamela Ward, that was recently living in Largo, tell her Mimi is looking for her. Okay. I just want to make sure that she and Brittany, her daughter, are okay. But I will never forget when we were at our job at AAMC. It was like literally like a little boy standing right next to her, and I'm like, does she not see this? So then I asked her. You mean me and her weren't close at this time, so I just came out and I asked, and I was like, do you have a son, or did you have a son? And she said, yes, he passed away when he was little. And I was like, oh. And then I explained to her, I described him to her and what he had on and everything, and she said, yes, that's my son. How do you know that? And I said, because he's standing right there next to you. And she was like, oh. She looked over, she was like, where? And I was like, right there. And we were friends, ever since. We're like sisters ever since. But it's an amazing gift to have. I mean, it's not like it's something negative or bad. I mean, it's just a good experience because you can help other people.
Right. Exactly. And I mean, like, spirits in the spiritual realm, like, that is like, you're kind of helpless there unless there's somebody who is assigned to you, like the Most High God brings an angel or a spirit guide to you, or there's someone on earth who can have a spirit guide come and find you, or they can help you figure out why you're not at peace. So someone who has the ability to really speak to spirits and communicate with spirits, that is a very powerful thing. So y'all, don't be afraid of it. Now, there are a lot of different occurrences of paranormal activity. Some of them you guys see all the time and don't even know about it, like spirit orbs. So like in this video right here, you can see these are spirit orbs, and I'm sorry the video is turned sideways, but this is a video that I took before of my cats, and spirits happen to love animals. So people will see these things. Those things that you see floating all around the screen, look at how they move intelligently. Those are not bugs. That is not dirt. If you see that kind of stuff in your camera, or you're watching someone's video and you see these things flying past, those are actual spirit orbs. They're all over the place, but they're not always caught on camera. That is a spirit. That is a spirit right there. And that is a very common and the most common sign of paranormal activity. And most people don't even notice it. And then you have like other things like there's this guy, Cody ITC. If you guys are interested in stuff like this, he does spirit boxes. Now I'm going to let y'all know right now, do not go get you a spirit box. Cody is meant to do this. This is something he is meant to do to help spirits who are stuck. He helps them go to the light. He helps them find the light. This is something he was ordained to do. So he's safe when he does this. Do not go buy you a spirit box to try to play around with spirits, because you do not want to attract unwanted presences, okay? So, but this is just another example of paranormal activity, and this guy, he is actually real in what he's doing. You know, again, there are a lot of people who fake things, but this guy is 100% genuine, and the spirits that come through are all real spirits. Now, they're not always the person they're supposed to be, because he can't always control, but about 90% of his videos is actually the person that he is calling. And he will call on celebrities. He's done a lot of celebrities who have passed away. He has talked to them through the spirit box. This is just a short little clip. Some of y'all remember the guy Twitch from Ellen's show, and also he was real popular on TikTok for doing dances with his wife. He passed away not too long ago due to suicide. This is just a short clip of the spirit box and the spirit of, allegedly the spirit of Twitch coming through, and this is just another form.
I just wasn't thinking. Something inside just didn't think it would go off.
I'm gonna warn y'all, if y'all do go watch those can be pretty heavy. I mean, just that clip right there, he's saying, I didn't think it would go off. That is very sad. You know what I mean? And some of these people that are celebrities, if you might have been a fan, they're not all doing that great. And that's why Cody, COTY, that's why he does what he does. And then, of course, there are, you know, a lot more there are people who catch actual ghosts on camera. There are people who catch like things falling off the wall and stuff like that, and we do have some footage of that too. But what made you want to talk about paranormal activity tonight, Mimi?
I wanted to talk about it because, like, you showed, you know, the picture, the clip with your cat.
Yeah.
I was going back looking through like my video footage because I was looking for a certain video, and I could see all of the spirit orbs on the video. So I'm like, okay. Like this, you know, it's not shocking to me because I'm me. So I already know. Right. I already know it's a lot going on. So it didn't shock me or anything, but I would like to know, you know, who the spirits belong to. Like, who are they? And how if I can help them or whatnot. But I wanted to talk about it because a lot of people think that it's something that's negative, and it's not. It's not something that's demonic, because I know you have your Christians and your, you know, other religious people who seem to think everything is, you know, evil.
Right.
It's not evil. You do have, you know, certain things that people bring out, which are, you know, some demons in certain situations when they're playing with like Ouija boards and all that creepy stuff. But as far as spirit orbs, it's like it's someone that's either that wants to help you, that wants your help, or there's someone that actually can help you, because if you're able to see them and talk to them, then, you know, you never know who they belong to. But I would like to know, you know, who these spirits are that's in my home.
Right.
But I want to talk about it because it's like it's something that's always shunned. nobody really wants to talk about it. Yes, they show, you have your movies, you have Paranormal Activity and all these other movies that are actually based off of true stories. Mm-hmm. And then you have some that are a little far-fetched, but it's like people don't create documentaries, everything just out of the blue. It's mainly about an experience that they had. So with Paranormal Activity, I think, people need to be more aware of it and dig deeper into it so you can get a better understanding before you just shun someone when they're either talking to you about it or when you're reading about it. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to think that the movies are real, that's your choice. But if someone is coming to you and telling you, this is what they're seeing, this is what they're experiencing, you should educate yourself so you can get a better understanding as to where they're coming from instead of just labeling them as crazy or they have schizophrenia or whatever label you choose to give them or whatnot. But just educate yourself on it. And I just want everybody to basically just do that. Educate yourself so you will know what we're talking about when we speak of it. And you may have children that are experiencing this, so if you educate yourself, you'll understand your children and you won't label your children or won't allow anyone else to label your children when they're coming to you telling you that they're seeing spirits,
Exactly.
So that's why I talk about it.
Exactly. And the truth of the matter is, yes, unfortunately, spirits can attach themselves to you. Possession is very rare. I like people getting possessed like you see on TV. That is actually not a common thing. You don't really find that too many places, but it does happen. But spirits getting themselves attached to you is something that can happen very commonly. If there's something going on wrong in your life, suddenly you're just angry all the time and you don't know why, your relationships don't work, your job, everything in your life is starting to fail out of nowhere, you feel drained and tired all the time, you're sick a lot. Like if anything like this happens out of nowhere, it doesn't necessarily mean, but possibility you can possibly have an entity that has attached itself to you, because spirits can attach themselves to you like parasites, just like mosquitoes flying around sucking the blood. They look for you in your light, and a lot of times they'll attach themselves to you when you are at a vulnerable part in your life, like you're depressed, you're mourning, you're on drugs or drinking a lot. Why you think they call alcohol spirits? Because you drink a lot of alcohol, you attract a lot of spirits. That is very true. There are different types of spirits, though. There are negative entities. They're just, they're low vibrational entities. They just don't have a lot of energy, so they will attach themselves to you so they can drain you of your energy. They don't necessarily mean wrong, but they still will drain you. Then you have negative entities who kind of just want to have fun. They might make you want to do drugs. They might make you be promiscuous. They're going to also, all spirits drain you. Then you have evil spirits who downright want to kill you, cause car accidents, and all kind of crazy stuff like that. That is a very real thing too. And then you have the demonic. They are less common, but there are demonic spirits out there who are going to destroy you and your family and everything around you. So yes, there is a dark side to spirituality, but there's also a light side to spirituality. And I, as part of what I do, I communicate and connect with spirits all the time. Everybody has spirit guides that are with them, that are assigned to them. You might call them guardian angels. But the Most High God has a lot of helpers who does his work. He doesn't do his work directly. He's the Most High God. Why should he have to do anything? So yes, there are a lot of spirits that are assigned to you from God. It's not a bad thing. You can call them angels if that makes you feel like it's better, but they're still spirits. You know what I mean? And I'm just going to do a little quick demonstration. Like, okay, so this is what you call a pendulum. Now, let me see. I want to do it so y'all can see my hand. I want you to see. So my hand is not moving at all. Now I'm going to ask the spirits, are you with us right now? Now you see my hand is not moving at all. Now, the pendulum is moving back and forth. Spirits, can you please move the pendulum move clockwise? All right. The screen is backwards, but it's really moving Oh no, does it look clockwise to you?
It does.
Okay. Okay, I have it flipped then. Okay. All right, can you move counterclockwise, please? Now, there is no way I can change the direction of this pendulum without my hand moving a lot more. Now, obviously, I'm talking, I'm breathing, so my hand is going to move a little bit. Can you make it move side to side? It is moving side to side. Now, you guys can't tell me that I'm doing this. So, if I'm not doing it, who is doing it? All right. Thank you very much, Spirits. I appreciate you. All right. So, yes. Those are many forms of paranormal activity. Spirits are real. They're not all bad. All right. Yes, there are bad spirits out there. So, I mean, it is best to keep your energy clean, keep yourself protected. You know what I'm saying? Watch the type of people you hang around.
One more thing. Soul ties. Like, if you're out here, this is a true statement. If you're out here, everybody that you sleep with, you take a part of them with you.
Oh, yes.
You may not do, but you definitely do. Everybody that you have S with, you take them with you. I don't care if it's 2 women, 2 men, whatever. You're taking a part of that person with you, and that is called soul ties, and it's not always a good thing.
No.
It's not.
Like you guys wonder why so many people end up in toxic relationships, and for some reason they just can't break up with them. They know that person is just no good, but no matter how many times they try to leave, they just end up right back because they have a soul tie connection. They are literally tied at the soul and intertwined. All right. And that is something that you have to physically break. You can't just decide, oh, it's over. You have to actually break the soul tie. And sometimes, most of the time, people are strong enough to do it themselves, but they have to make a mental and set the intention. I'm breaking this soul tie. I release you to go in peace so that I can go in peace. You have to say it and physically envision it and really state that you are breaking. Like, I hate to say it, it's kind of like, okay, you have to do like kind of a spell, all right, but it's, or pray, whatever you want to call it. You could pray it away, but you have to actually break the soul tie. Otherwise, you're still gonna be connected to that person.
That's right, and I've been there and done that, so I know. Because if you think you're gonna be with this person for forever, and and you're connected to this person, especially if it's someone that you have children with, because they're really, 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 really a part of you, because you all have created these humans, and sometimes it's not always easy to get away from that person.
Right.
So you do have to be deep in thought and deep in prayer. If you have to do spells and whatever it is, chants, whatever it is that you have to do, you have to be serious and you have to focus, channel your energy in the right direction. And sometimes you may need the help of someone else, because it is hard to break those ties. It is very hard. Yes. Very hard.
But we are going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, word on the streets. Stay tuned, y'all.
Listen, baby, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
If you need me, call me, no matter where you are, no matter how far.
Don't worry, baby,
just call my name, I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there
Another mass shooting, this one at a Sweet 16 birthday party. Many of the victims just teenagers. Authorities in Alabama say 4 people died, at least 15 wounded by gunfire. Some of the victims are in critical condition. Police rushed to the dance studio where the party was being held after gunfire erupted at the event. Victims were taken to several local hospitals where crowds waited for word on their conditions. Marseille graduated from Opelika High School in 2022 and was taking a gap year to focus on his music. He was planning to move in with his father in Baton Rouge so he can attend Louisiana State University. Phil was an honor student at Dadeville High School. He was celebrating his sister's birthday when this tragedy occurred. Holston did not attend the party but rushed to the scene after receiving texts from family members that something serious was happening. Out of concern for family members, he responded to the party to ensure their safety and unfortunately encountered the suspects. Hickey Smith was a volleyball player and team manager for the Dadeville High School track team. Our thoughts, prayers, and condolences go out to all those affected by this horrible tragedy.
This is so sad and it's very heartbreaking. In Dadeville, Alabama, a gunman gunned down teenagers celebrating a Sweet 16. So, it's sad. You can't even celebrate your children without things like this happening. So 15 teens were shot and hospitalized. Amongst them were the person that passed away was the brother of the sister who was celebrating her Sweet 16 party. I can't imagine, what any of these families are going through, but I know that has to be extremely hard for her, losing her brother the night of her birthday party.
And I believe one of the victims was the cousin of one of the shooters, right?
That's what I was reading.
Yeah.
It's
So you said that they found okay, so at first we heard that they did arrest 2 people, the 2 brothers, the day I think yesterday as a matter of fact. But now it's 5 people, right?
Right. 5 people have been arrested. I'm guessing it is a set of brothers. 2 teenage brothers along with 3 other men are accused of carrying out the deadly shooting. 4 people were gunned down. We know that they were killed, and we send our prayers and condolences to each one of their families.
Yeah.
The of 19-year-old Willie George Brown Jr. on Thursday brought the total number of people to 5. Johnny Letron Brown, 20 years old, was arrested early today. On Tuesday, Alabama law enforcement officials announced that the arrest of the brothers, who are Tyreek McCullough, 17, and Travis McCullough, 16, both of Tuskegee. Another man, 20-year-old Wilson Lamar Hill Jr., was arrested Wednesday. The suspects were each charged with 4 counts of reckless murder.
It was such a tragic week. It was such a tragic week.
It's sad, and the 2 brothers will be charged as adults. It's.
I don't know what happened this week, but so many young people. We had 2 people die on like 4. I think it was up to like 3 or 4 deaths that happened on prom night. One girl, it was the same day, but she was on her way to graduation, getting her graduation clothes. She passed away, Charity. Then we also had the Ralph Yarl case, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But we just had so much young people pass away during like celebrating a major milestones in their life. Sweet 16s, prom nights, graduations, it's just, wow. It was very sad week.
It is. And we send our prayers and condolences to Madison's family, Samuel's family, and
yes, Charity.
it's just so sad because Madison and Samuel, they were literally 1 minute from pulling into the parking lot of the hotel where they were going to stay. They were going to a party afterwards, but they didn't go because it was canceled. So the party was canceled, so that's when they turned around to go back to the hotel to where her best friend, I think you pronounce her name, Deasia, she was saying all of this on her TikTok, how they were 1 minute from turning into the parking lot because she told her, she said, where are you? She was asking Madison, and she said, about to pull up. And she said she could actually, she heard it and she could actually see from the window the car accident. And they were literally right there getting ready to turn into the hotel. So I know that's devastating for.
And there was footage that came out. So before they even went to prom, they're on camera talking about how the car was hard to drive. She was saying he don't know how to drive. A lot of people wonder, like, why was she driving? Well, in the beginning, she was saying he was having problems because the car, once you take the foot off the gas, it automatically stops. So basically, this kind of car, you have to keep your foot on the gas the whole entire time. All right, so if you want to slow down, you don't, because sometimes, cause I'm one of them people who I'll pump sometimes, so I'll push the gas and I'll take my foot off and let the gas ride to slow back down. Well, no, you got to keep your foot on the pedal or the car just automatically stops. They didn't really know how to drive this car. They got them a fancy Tesla, and I'm saying this to say all this, all right? Y'all, sometimes all these gadgets and technology and stuff is just, it might sound cool, but it's unnecessary and it's unreliable and it's scary. I mean, all this stuff that Mr. Musk is coming up with is cool, but he even had a rocket ship explode today. Everybody acting like it was a big success. This rocket ship that's supposed to be taking people to Mars. Oh yeah, it got out of the atmosphere, but the friggin' thing exploded. So what y'all cheering about? If somebody was in that thing, they would have all been dead. Why y'all happy? Oh, it's progress? Oh my gosh. So we got to break a few eggs to get an omelet? Like, what the heck? So y'all, look, stay in your lane.
Now, parents, it would be a good idea if you drive them or have someone else drive them. Stop putting them in cars that they're unfamiliar with.
Yeah. That should have never, unfortunately, I'm not trying to blame the victims whatsoever, but they should have never driven that car if they couldn't drive that car. Like, and this is just like, precaution to everybody else. If you're not comfortable driving a car and you're not familiar with the gadgets, you need to not drive that car, okay? You need to just find another way to get there. Don't look cool that night, okay? And be safe. Because again, this was a very tragic event, and like you said, we definitely
and that they were the cause of the accident. We're not saying that at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, we're just saying that cars that you're unfamiliar with driving, sometimes it's very hard for you to maneuver if you don't know how to properly drive the car. You know all of the functions. So that's all we're saying. But no, we're not saying that it was Madison's fault nor Samuel.
Not at all.
We're not saying that at all. We just know that, cars can be difficult to drive.
So we just want y'all to be careful.
If you're not, but, we're not saying that it was their fault at all. And we're so very sorry that this happened to them. And like I said, we're sending out our prayers and condolences to them as well.
Most definitely. Most definitely. It was just so, and not that it matters, but they were such a beautiful couple, and I'm not saying that it's any sadder because they were beautiful. I just have to acknowledge how beautiful they were. You know what I mean?
Her captions that she was putting up, she was like, I can't wait to have my forever with you. Mm-hmm. And she has him forever. Like, he is definitely her soulmate now, forever. So it's very sad. It's very sad about what happened.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that, they love each other so much.
Spiritually, yes. Spiritually, they weren't alone. I mean, of course, here on earth, we're all sad, but for their comfort, they're not alone.
And it was,
And believe me, most of the time when spirits transition, they are at peace. Not all spirits transition and are upset or angry. A lot of times they find peace that they didn't have when they were alive. Because a lot of times here on Earth, we can't wrap our mind around this thing. But something happens when you cross over to where you don't quite look at things the same way. So I'm going to have faith that these two are at peace. I'm going to hope it. I'm going to pray for it. I'm going to wish it. And I'm just going to put that in the universe. And if they're not at peace, then I hope spirit guides, ancestors, most high God, you guys find these babies and help them get to peace. But we're going to move. Go ahead.
The two young girls that were in the back, we're praying that they have a successful recovery
because
as well.
Mentally and emotionally too, not just physically, because right. that's going to be a hard thing to have been a survivor and a traumatic experience all around.
Yes.
All right, so moving on, y'all. All right, so Mr. Jamie Foxx, we gonna talk about it. All right, first let me play this clip.
Jamie Foxx update, latest news on his condition.
Sources close to the situation say the comedian is doing a lot better. Ever the prankster. He's even joking with his family. The medical emergency was serious enough for him to be admitted, and doctors are reportedly trying to get to the bottom of the issue. He'll undergo testing for the next few days. His rep did not provide any further information. At the time of hospitalization, Fox was filming a Netflix movie in Atlanta, Back in Action. People reports the set was shut down for a day following Fox's medical emergency. A cast director on the film notified extras that the scene set to film on April 16th had been canceled due to changes in production. That scene will not be rescheduled due to the changes. Other scenes scheduled to film next are expected to resume as normal.
Let me tell you, this has stirred up a whole lot on social media, this situation. Now, first of all, of course, we like to, send our thoughts and prayers to Jamie Foxx and his family, and we hoping he makes a speedy recovery and come back. But woo! All the speculation.
Right. It's a lot of speculation, but I just want to say that for me, I love Jamie Foxx. Like, I've never heard anything negative about him in the news, like how we hear about other celebrities. And just seeing him with, his daughter a lot. I mean, it's sad because he has these two precious little girls, and well, even though Corinna's an adult, but she's still his little girl. It's just sad because we on the outside, we don't know what's going on. They know what's going on. They're right there with him. But whatever it is, we just praying that he recovers. But it is a lot of speculations. Like, some sources are saying, that he had a stroke. Some are saying that he had an aneurysm.
Or both.
Right. It's a lot. And it's like.
And then, of course, you have the people talking about how he's being replaced and all the conspiracy Hollywood stuff, just a whole bunch of hoopla, people with some negative things to say. But most people have positive things to say. Most people have nothing but great things to say. But of course, you're going to have your negative people and people who just want to talk junk about him. What we can say is we have heard some kind of reliable sources to us of what's going on. We're not going to disclose that because right now there is no official word. So despite the speculation, and even if some of the speculation is true, as of right now, like the news said, the only thing that they are saying is that is a medical complication. He's doing better and he is now talking, which means, which we can say is if he is, they're saying that he is now communicating, which means at some point he was not able to communicate. So you guys can go from there. There's only a few things that could have happened to him that would stop him from being able to communicate properly. And nothing really good can happen if you're not communicating. So it's definitely, and the fact that he's still in the hospital, it's definitely something serious. So, please send out, if you're not down with Jamie Foxx, then just don't even like send your negativity his way. But hey, if you are a supporter of Jamie Foxx, please definitely send him your thoughts and prayers. Of course, I don't know him. We don't know him. We don't know who he is really, but I've always liked him. I've always thought he was a funny comedian, actor. He's a great actor. He's a singer, all that. And I've been watching him since In Living Color.
Right. And I love how he can just change his voice to sound like anybody.
Yeah. So I definitely hope that this has a happy ending. He's had some health issues in the past. He has opened up to Oprah in the past talking about some mental health issues he's had, and as well as some addiction. Not saying that has any addiction now, but in the past, an incident where he was accidentally given PCP, which kind of altered things in his brain forever. Yeah, he was drugged when he was just a teenager, and he has these mental episodes to the point where luckily he has a supportive family around him at all times who can keep him on track. But there has been times that his family has to tell him not to go outside. He's not doing great. And I'm not talking bad about him. This is all stuff that he's opened up and said himself. This is not no negative thing, because if otherwise I wouldn't be saying it. But he also says that he can relate to Kanye and Kanye's mental episodes that he be having, because he says he be having them too. So could this have been a mental break? It could have been a mental break. I mean, they said that it was getting stressful and he was getting a little agitated on the set of the movie. Again, all of that is just speculation, but we can only wait and see, because I'm sure in his time, just like he's been open about everything else that has happened in his life, I'm sure in his time he'll be open about what was going on with him now. But I'm sure they want to wait till they get to the end. Like they're still doing tests and things like that. So maybe they're not even sure what's really going on altogether. So.
Right. What happened to the guy that actually spiked his drink at that college party as a practical joke? Like, I want to know, did anything ever happen?
What kind of practical joke is PC? Like, PCP can F people up like really, really bad for life. Like, it messed Jamie Foxx up for life, but he's functioning. But it can mess people up to the point of not functioning. Okay, yep. You know what I mean? They gonna be like Smokey on Friday when he kept going twitching and stuff like that. That might be funny, but that really can happen. So that was horrible. Like, that ain't no practical joke. That's trying to hurt somebody, like, for real.
It's definitely not. And not to get off topic, but for these people that are putting different things in drugs and all of that, you don't know how it's going to affect that person and how they can harm themselves.
Right.
So stop doing it.
Not to mention, you don't know what drugs they might already be on and what contraindications the drug you are entering now into their system can have if they might already have something in their system. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Y'all just can't be playing around with people's lives like that. And not, it's morally wrong, but if you're not trying to kill nobody, you need to stop doing that too. Because again, you never know what somebody might already have going on, or health conditions they might have, or like Mimi said, how they will react, or what's already in their system.
That's right.
Yeah. But again, we wish him a speedy recovery, and I pray that he comes back to us. So another thing that happened in the news this week. So New York City had a garage collapse. I'm not sure if the death toll has updated. Maybe you can see real quick, Mimi. But at the time, there was only one death and several casualties. But that's when it broke. Here's the story.
Breaking news. A New York City garage collapses, leaving multiple people injured and one death so far.
garage has collapsed. We know there were a number of injuries. We don't know for certain how many injuries there were, but I want to show you this scene. You can see there are firefighters right there on that roof looking at the damage. We also know there is video taken from someone at a nearby building with a vantage point of the damage you can see from overhead. You can see there's at least over a dozen cars right there on that roof, and you can see some of them have submerged. There's also a plume of smoke you can see from that video, just showing the damage here from what appears to be a collapse here in this building that housed a garage. It is a massive scene out here. We're seeing NYPD police officers, FDNY here as well. We're also being told to get away, to walk a little bit further away from the scene for our safety purposes. But as you know, this area is very narrow streets, and we also know that there have been a number of injuries here. Unclear who these individuals were. We're assuming it might be garage employees, but again, we are seeing video from a nearby witness who showed that part of that garage collapsing, a number of cars on that roof. And again, we know that several people were taken away to a nearby hospital via ambulance. We do not know how many people were injured. Again, back out here live, you can see this is a...
Okay, so the initial findings after Tuesday's collapse of the New York City parking garage, it indicated that the building being nearly 100 years old, coupled with too many vehicles on the roof, contributed to the deadly structural failure. So Mr. Willis Moore, 59 years old, was the manager of the parking garage. He was killed in the collapse. Send our prayers and condolences to his family. And also, the city's fire department said 5 other workers were injured as well. Okay. So with a preliminary investigation, they found that too much weight on the roof and the building's age contributed to the severity of the collapse. Oof. According to New York City Fire Department Chief of Safety. So basically, this building was built back in 1925.
Dang, that's an old building.
Yes, in 2003, there were open violations on the building. And this is shown in records, including one from November 2003 that was considered hazardous. The violation stated that the building had first floor ceiling slab cracks, as well as defective concrete with exposed rear cracks.
Wow.
Yeah, and a hearing was set for the violation in 2004, but the issue was never resolved.
And that was 10 years ago, so just imagine how much more damage and weakness occurred since then. You know, yeah, and I'm sure somebody's going to sue.
Yes, as they should.
That's
and it's still like in 2019. It was still the same thing in 2019.
They should get all kind of fines and sued, and because somebody's at fault. You know, because they ignored, that's negligence. So this never had to happen. They had 10 years to shut that thing down or get it or fix it or whatever they needed to do.
And they didn't.
Oh, they did not. Well, yeah, that's very unfortunate. We're going to go ahead and take a break, y'all. And when we come back, other breaking news. Stay tuned.
Incredible change happens in life when you decide to take control of what you do have power over, instead of worrying about what you don't. House of Healing Hands. Take control. Gain back your power.
Yesterday the sky was gray, but now I see such a beautiful ray.
And we are back with Unabashed. So they came out with the first smart gun with a fingerprint unlocking system. All right, so basically, you don't need a lock. You don't need to lock it up. You're supposed to just be able to grab the gun. It registers your fingerprints, and you good to go. Now, in theory, this sounds wonderful, because everybody knows that the downfall of having a lockbox is if you ever really need the weapon, it's going to take you forever to unlock that weapon. And of course, if you don't lock it up, then hey, your kid might be on the news at school doing some horrible things, and that's the reality of the world we live in. However, how many of y'all use your fingerprint on your phone and have to do it like 5-6 times, and then sometimes it don't work and it make you want to time out, or you got to use the code and stuff? I don't know how reliable that really is. That's my problem.
Yeah, and it's not just fingerprints, it's your face too, because sometimes you can pick up the phone to do face recognition and it's not recognizing your face and you look the same as you did 2 minutes ago.
Right. So I'm going to need some sort of like backup system, you know what I mean? I don't know what the backup would be, but they need to have a backup because that's just not, working for me. But it does sound good. I mean, that would resolve a lot of things. All right, so a Texas man was sentenced to 70 years in prison for spitting on cops. Y'all, come on now. All right, this melanated man, of course, unfortunately, was sentenced to 70 years because he spit on some police.
Mm-hmm. Although, spitting is disgusting.
However,
7 years, that's a lot compared to other people that are committing crimes, and they're only getting 5 years, 10 years.
Spitting is probably one of the worst things that you can do to people, especially in their eyes. I mean, like, you had people justifying this woman shooting this Karen because she spat on her. And they was like, oh, she deserved it. And I'm like, what? They were going in on this lady. And because she's like, okay, so y'all, people don't play with that. Don't be spitting on nobody, okay? People do not play when it comes to spitting. All right, couple drugged an ailing Malibu doctor for a year to take over his beachfront home and still meal. I couldn't even say it. Still. Y'all, don't come for me. I don't know why I couldn't say them two words together. Steal millions.
It's okay. A tongue twister.
I had a brain fart there. Okay, but that's horrible. This man was dying and rich, and so they kept him drugged just so they could have a party. I'm glad they got caught, though. I don't know how they got caught, but I'm glad they got caught. Okay, so there was a male chess player who disguises himself as a woman so he can cheat his way through a championship tournament. Come on now, Joanna, man. I thought...
Stop it.
You seen that movie, right?
Yes. Like, how did
he watched Joanna Man that day. He watched that movie and it was like, oh, light bulb. I think I'm going to try that.
Exactly. Crazy.
No, and it's not as good as it looked on film, okay? And you will get caught, okay? All right, so Kansas man, age 80, claims that he was chased and tased for going 3 miles over the speed limit. Oh my God. You know what? I'm not surprised. They just do what they want nowadays. 1 teen, 2 dead, 2 injured in a shooting near a north. You know what, y'all? I quit. I don't know why I can't talk tonight. I don't know. Okay, it must, all that talk about spirits. Now we forgot to tell you that while we was on a break, Mimi's TV just turned on out of nowhere. Nobody in the house. After we got done talking about spirits and ghosts, her TV's just turning on for no reason. Y'all, okay, y'all got me feeling spooky. Before we even started the podcast, something randomly fell off my wall like it got thrown off the wall. Look. Y'all, I'm throw some salt over my shoulders and I need to do a cleansing or something. Got me over here talking in tongues. All right. At Northwestern campus, unfortunately, not to take away from the seriousness of that story. All right, so Florida professor leaves a $190,000 a year job following a claim that he faked data on racism studies. You know, yeah, they be faking data all the dang time. That is not even surprising.
Yeah, I mean, why is it shocking? It's not shocking.
I guess he figured he made enough money making $200,000 a year that he can finally let his morals take the lead instead of the greed. You know, he was feeling guilty. All right, so men with the speed of NASCAR pit crew allegedly stole $2 million worth of parts. Wow, that's a lot of car parts. They must have been like running a Fast and Furious ring. They was trying to build them some cars or something, but that is a lot of car parts. $2 million worth of car parts. Or maybe they was building them cars so they could do a bigger robbery. They probably was trying to be like Fast and Furious, that first one, when they were stealing the money from the truck or whatever they were doing in the first one. All right, MMA fighter charged with killing an airman in a brawl. He says, "I think I killed him." Y'all, you know, if you are trained fighters, you guys have to be careful because not everybody else is a trained fighter. Your hands literally become weapons when you are a trained fighter. Not only that, in the court of a law, if you are a trained fighter, your hands legally become weapons. They hold you at a different set of laws than everybody else in the country who is not a trained fighter. So trained fighters, y'all need to just walk away. Because even if you don't kill them, you're going to do a lot more time just because of that. All right, Florida grandma killed in Orlando shooting sent frantic texts before she passed away saying he is shooting a gun. There was somebody arrested in this case. Mom shot dead at Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru. Targeted attack with the son in the back seat. Very sad.
Yes.
Luckily, I think the son is okay though. Andrew Tate to be sued by 3 women for alleged rape and physical abuse. He need to do more than that if he really did it. White House, huh?
I said exactly.
Yes. White House widely toddler slips through the gate. Secret Service intercepts tiny tourist. Now, you know, I hate to say it, but luckily she was, you know, palm complected, because if she was another complexion, they might have just shot first and asked questions later. Oh, but that's cute otherwise. This nasty guy, let me put the picture big so y'all can see. All right, and here we go with another guy who is good looking and doing nasty things. That just goes to show that just because somebody good looking don't mean they not nasty, crazy, deranged, and just horrible. But this guy is going around, he's charged with 7 counts of knowingly spreading HIV to multiple people. Horrible.
It's nasty.
Like, dude, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because you got it don't mean everybody else need to have it, and you need to be responsible. There are ways. Some people will accept you the way you are. If you know, are in a relationship, they have preventative medication. They also have condoms, things like that. You don't have to just sit here and lie to everybody. And now you are making other people susceptible. And just because you have HIV don't mean that somebody else won't get full-blown AIDS right away. You know, you thinking, well, it's only HIV. No, it don't work that way. But y'all seen the picture. If he got out on the streets, you stay away from that man. 4 dead, 11 hospitalized following pastor's orders to fast until they meet Jesus. What? You know, I don't understand this cult mentality. I don't understand how people just blindly follow like a bunch of sheep. They just blindly follow people. Just because they said it, they just gonna automatically believe it. Just because the pastor said it in Jesus' name, y'all just gonna do it without even thinking about it?
And he led them straight to their death. Like, literally.
They're going to meet Jesus.
I hope each other met Jesus. I hope they all went to heaven. But that's scary because not everybody's bodies can handle that.
Yeah. And I'm sure he guilt tripped the ones that wanted to give in. Oh, you must not love Jesus. Your faith ain't strong enough, and all kind of stuff. That's horrible. Anyway, so a pregnant woman accused of shoplifting at Walgreens gets shot by the worker. Now, what? You know, like, since when does shoplifting lead to getting shot if that person don't have a weapon? The only thing you could say to me is she was grabbing for something and the guy thought she was grabbing for a weapon, and he legitimately thought that she had a weapon and was about to shoot him. But I didn't hear nothing about that.
No, but my thing is, sir, you're an employee. You are an employee. That is not your job to try to stop somebody. And I thought that it was something set in place. When you see someone stealing, you do not approach them. You do not try to apprehend them. They tell you that when you are a security officer.
You do not. Yes. Because you're not a police officer. You're not trained.
Right.
You're not supposed to get killed for no merchandise.
Exactly.
All you're supposed to do is get as much detail about the person, and if Walgreens or whoever want to press charges, they have all the information. They have video recording, all that good stuff. You know, so that's horrible.
It is. And he deserves to be fired. He's not a hero. That's not being a hero.
More than fired, he should get 2 counts of murder.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So there was footage circling everywhere, showing hundreds of teens destroying property and attacking tourists in downtown Chicago. All right, Chirac, what the heck is going on now? You know what I'm saying? What was this about? What the world?
On mad in Chirac.
What happened? Like, why? Why people just running around being crazy?
You would think a teen night, the teens would get together and they would meet up somewhere and, you know, cook down.
I never even heard of teen night.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, not teen night, and you harass everybody. Tear everything up. No.
That's horrible. See, that make me think just about that story that I just watched for the first time that came out a long time ago. Well, no, it came out in 2019, even though it happened a long time ago, about the Central Park 5. Those babies, they had their little teen night going out in Central Park, robbing people and doing all kind of havoc. And then that woman got raped, and they pulled them 5 babies into the police station and questioned them for 20 hours without their parents, and convinced them all to tell on each other, saying that they were all a part of this raping of this white woman. And these 5 young, and I mean like 14 to 16-year-old melanated boys went to jail for 6, 7, and 12 years. And luckily, after all that time, the person who actually raped this woman met one of them in jail after he had been beat up, stabbed, and raped. And he was turning his life around, or he met God, or, you know, found religion or something. And so he told that he was the one that raped him. And then finally they got exonerated, you know, the record clean. And 10 years after that, they did get $41 million. So they're all doing great now, but at what cost? You know what I mean? Right. But
it's not that great mentally, because that they went through
especially the 16-year-old. He was tried as an adult. That's why he got twice the amount of time as everybody else. And he went to prison while they went to juvie. So he's the one that got raped and beat up, and they're, you know, they're all doing big things now. You see them out in social media if you look them up. The Central Park 5. But, you know, and his sister died while he was in jail. You know, stuff like that. You can't pay me for that. You know, but I was actually thinking, like, okay, if I knew that I was gonna make it just fine, now that I'm as old as I am, Would I have gone to jail when I was young on purpose, like knowing that I would be okay if you told me I could have $41 million when I got out?
Crazy.
I asked my son, he was like, no. I'm like, that's because you 17. But me, like, if I'm thinking like, okay, my parents, my sibling, my children, everybody would have money right now, and all I had to do was give up my partying years. But that's a hypothetical. But what that other one went through, no. But looking back, I don't know. I might have done it if I would have known I would have been all right the whole way through. But that's an unfortunate situation. So that made me think about this, because the same kind of thing was going on in that story. They was having some sort of, all the kids was out wilding out, is what they kept saying. I guess that's where the term wilding out started, was back then. But these kids was definitely wilding out, and they're lucky that nothing like that happened to any of them. So NYPD city government introduces 400-pound robots to patrol the streets.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. How is this even? Can you imagine? I can't even imagine being detained by a 400-pound robot. Especially,
are they running fast, or are they going all slow with their big gaudy butts?
But my thing is, they can malfunction at any time, and I know they probably have it set as to where, this is the target, this is the one you're supposed to get. Malfunction, it could be a child. They will rip a little child to shreds.
See, this along with that AI stuff, all this AI stuff, y'all, this ain't cool. And now the whole new thing trending is these AI sounding like these other celebrities. That's why that one AI, they blocked that one AI because it made Drake sound like The Weeknd. You know what I mean? So they blocked it, saying that it was copyright, and these some of these celebrities are not down with it. Like, don't be sounding like me thinking you gonna just take me over.
Read the article, what it says about it. It has a 360-degree camera system, a thermal camera, a LiDAR sonar, a GPS, 16 microphones, and speakers.
It's like R2-D2 in Star Wars.
That's a lot.
And how much of all this stuff costs? How many taxpayer dollars went in to these security robots patrolling the streets? Y'all. If y'all don't see what's happening, I don't know what to tell you. But y'all need to pay attention to what is going on right now in this world.
One robot can be as cheap as $75,000. Cheap, not the most expensive.
$75,000 a robot. All right, so a Mexico kidnapping survivor, Latavia Washington, was arrested and charged with contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
But did you read what she actually done? It was a fight. It was something going on with a fight, and she provided a gun. She provided a gun to one of the
kids in the fight.
Yeah.
Oh,
she
hell no.
Yeah.
I mean, are we trying to say that she's traumatized? Because maybe she's traumatized. Like, we don't know what she went through. You know what I'm saying? It might be, even though it's not right, it might be something psychological. I'm trying to give her some credit, y'all. It might be something psychological going on, that she's just traumatized. But woo, what? And what would have happened if that baby killed that baby and she would have been responsible for a child dying? That she would have been even more traumatized. All right. North Carolina woman fatally shot her 3 children while on FaceTime before taking her own life. Why do we hear about this so much, man? Like, come on.
Every week. It's every single week, when she could have easily just turned her babies over.
Yeah, if you want to kill yourself, kill yourself. Why you got to kill your kids too? That's why I don't ever understand. Like, is there really something psychotic going on in these women's minds? Like, oh, nobody's going to be here to take care of them. They're better off dead with me. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What? That ain't for you to decide.
That's probably what they're thinking too. something of that
Yeah.
sort.
They're not gonna be there to take care of them, so they gotta kill the babies. Otherwise, they're gonna suffer. And like, yo, no, that ain't right. Then if that's what you thinking, then stick around and take care of the baby. Stop being so selfish and killing yourself. Man, if let your babies grow up, and then if you still want to kill yourself after all your babies out the house, and you do what you do, okay? But realistically, killing yourself is one of the most selfish things you could do to somebody, to your kids, to your family. But they gonna take their kids with them. Like, that's horrible. Now all them people gonna be stuck in a dark place. That's horrible. But okay, so Ralph, y'all, I know we know y'all know about this situation. So this headline here was it did break, I believe, yesterday or the day before. It was the day before. The suspect, Andrew Lester, was charged with 2 felony counts after shooting the teen twice for ringing the wrong doorbell. So if y'all don't know about this, I don't know where you've been, but if you don't know, the 16-year-old was supposed to go to pick up his younger siblings from a play date or wherever they were at somebody's house. That he was supposed to go to 115 North, some terrace, and then he accidentally went to street. It was something like that. He was supposed to go to a terrace, but it was a street. You know how sometimes they have 2 addresses that are almost alike, but it'll have road or drive. That's the only thing that's the difference. So he accidentally just rang. This boy did not do anything. He wasn't acting any kind of way. He just rang the doorbell. He didn't even have a chance to say why he was there. And that man not only shot him once, but he shot him twice and in the head. And thankfully, that boy is out of the hospital. He is out of the hospital. He is not unscathed. There are some damages, and we don't know if it's going to be long term. But as of right now, he is not okay. But he is alive, and he is well enough to not be in the hospital. So what's the update since then?
His mom is taking care of him because she's a nurse. So he's able to talk. He's able to talk. You know, he can still, function. The part of his brain that was damaged is the part of the brain that processes emotion. So that part was damaged.
Okay.
So hopefully he will be able to still process emotions, in the years to come. Hopefully that will heal. Okay. So this evil man had the nerve to plead not guilty. Yes.
So
yes,
we're not buying it. You know what I mean?
And like even his own grandson has come forward and said that his grandfather is racist.
Exactly.
Even the neighbors have come forward and saying of how, they didn't even hear, they just saw what he was doing. I think a lady was sitting on her porch or something. She even testified that, she felt bad for Ralph because she said he didn't do anything. All he did was ring the doorbell. And then the man started shooting. Shot him through the door in the arm and then opened the door and shot him in the head.
Yeah. But hopefully, I mean, like the family wants him to get life in prison, but if he is charged with these crimes, he gets a minimum of 10 to 13 years. So at 84, more than likely, he's going to spend his life in prison. And we're just hoping that he is convicted. So y'all don't stop calling. Don't stop writing. All right. It's because of all the black up that this case got. And yes, I did say black up. Okay. We got our melanated backup. Okay. That's the only reason why, because that's one thing that we can say about melanated people is that we come together. We black each other up. All right. My son the other day, he was asking me, he was like, all of a sudden all these cases are coming out where people accidentally doing the wrong thing, and they're also getting shot, kind of similar to this situation. And he was saying, if you look at all the other people, their GoFundMe accounts don't have a lot of money, but Ralph's account is like $3 million. But that's because us as melanated people, we know how to come together And that is exactly why they do what they do to us. Because you see how powerful we can be when we work together, y'all. You got celebrities out there that was posting this. You have people rallying and peacefully protesting and writing and not and sharing and not letting this case just go, and letting that man just go back home. And because of that, they took action, because now the case is so public, they can't just sit there and not do nothing about it. They took action. So yes, we need to keep blacking each other up, because that's the only thing we have, and we need to be supporting one another all the time.
Right.
All the time.
Black on fire.
Exactly.
Stop killing each other, because like Mashonda said, we are so powerful when we are together. So we need to keep coming together, and so many things can change. So many laws can change if we always are together. So we have to stop together.
Yes.
And keep coming together to get things done. Because like you said, yeah, I don't think anything would have been done that fast if it wasn't for everyone blacking up, you know. Because, you know, why wasn't he arrested right away?
Right, and they let him go, and they didn't even like get any evidence or walk the scene or nothing. He could have cleaned up all the evidence.
Yep.
They was gonna let that man go, y'all.
Yep.
All right, so moving on. 26-year-old married Oklahoma substitute teacher was arrested after she made out with a 15-year-old boy and sent him nudes. And the husband was the town's chief police officer. Come on now. Woo. He had to arrest his own wife.
She wasn't thinking, but come on, lady. And I know her husband is probably just so disgusted.
And embarrassed and everything else.
Stop, like, teachers.
Y'all need to leave these kids alone. Stop grooming these young men and trying to, come on now. They still babies. Goodness, I know nowadays it is, you know, these children are so developed and so mature, but they are still babies. Y'all teachers need to cut it out.
It's a lot more female teachers that
are doing it than male teachers. Yes.
Yep, and it's sad, and it's really sad. Both ways it's sad, but it's like, you being a woman, you should be nurturing, you know what I'm saying?
You're a mother. Come on, like half of y'all are mothers. Would you want something like that to happen to your own children? No. So come on. I don't care what they look like, he's so mature. F that noise. He's still a baby.
I hope her husband leaves her and take the children.
And what you gonna do with a 15-year-old anyway? Like, come on, what y'all really gonna do? What he gonna do? Y'all gonna move in together? He gonna take care of you? How far is this even gonna go? What is the point?
Yep.
All right, so TikToker claims she got ringworms all over her face for sharing makeup brushes with friends. Note to y'all, take a note, all right? Learn from that. Don't be sharing makeup brushes and any of that stuff, because you never know what somebody got going on. All right, 7 dead, including child, after gunmen storm a Mexican resort. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, stay out of that country. They never wanted us there, and it's not going to start anytime soon. And they have a lot of reason for hating us, okay? They have a lot of reason for hating us. All right, I'm going to make this one bigger just so y'all can see this hot mess. All right, this woman leaves her child in the car and runs from the police. Look at that. She talking about, y'all get my baby. What the hell?
Run, we got you.
What?
That the police officers could not slow down, and she stopped that car right in the middle of the street. Suppose they would have hit that car, that baby would have been dead. Would have ran into the back of that car, it would have killed that baby. And she was so selfish and left the baby.
She probably got caught anyway after all that. She got to come back and get the baby. All they got to do is take the baby. Then what you gonna do?
They caught her probably down the street somewhere, but it's like she could at least took the baby out of the car and handed the baby to somebody.
Yeah,
you just in complete danger.
Because, like, realistically, don't they know that they gonna take the child and put the child in the foster care? Now you done left your baby. You abandoned your child. Now you got a whole nother charge on top of you, and you ain't getting that baby back.
Nope.
Texas dairy farm explosion kills 18,000 cows. Here we go, y'all. Another one. You think that, man. And, you know, apparently a lot of people started getting sick from that explosion, or something was going on top of that. Yeah. So, again, y'all, this stuff is not coincidence. So the actress of the Zombie Detectives, I don't know if any of y'all watch that. I'm not really familiar with that, but her name was Jung Shae-yul, age 21, died, and they do not know what happened. So, you know, that's very sad. 26 is a very young age. All right, daycare under fire for tying a 2-year-old boy to a chair. Woo, I would have went to jail that day. I would have went to jail that day if I found out that my 2-year-old child was being tied up to a dang chair.
I don't understand. I don't understand. There's nothing that a 2-year-old can do that is that bad to make you want to tie them to a chair. It's nothing that a 2-year-old can do that bad that makes you want to put your hands on them, knock them out of chairs, slap them, you know, pick them up and throw them. No child does anything that bad that makes you want to do that. Like, how can you call yourself a child care provider when you are these children? You are scarring these children for the rest of their lives, putting this trauma on them. And this is...
Yes. All right. So a neighbor arrested after woman. Oh, I don't know why it says it like that, but neighbor arrested after woman found mutilated, surrounded by salt, crosses in a demonic Easter murder. So this person had a whole demonic ritual. So she was mutilated in a circle of salt with crosses on Easter. That's horrible.
Yeah,
all right, I'm definitely not into that kind of spirituality, y'all. All right, so Montana on the verge of becoming first state to completely ban TikTok. All right, y'all, watch out. Watch out. I found this new one. What was that one that I signed up for just as a precaution? It's called Clapper. They even advertising it on TikTok. So y'all might want to make you an account on Clapper as a backup to TikTok. Now, the only thing that I found that was a little bit womp is if you make videos on TikTok, that is one platform that will definitely shadow ban you if you use your TikTok video on Clapper. I thought that I could cover up the little thing that says TikTok. That watermark is embedded in the programming of that video. So even if you put something over it and save it as a new video, they can still sense there was a watermark so it will tell you AI has detected a watermark in your video, so we will not push this on the For You page. At least they tell you you're getting shadow banned. But that kind of made me think. I'm like, I wonder if other programs do that. Like when you make a video on TikTok and you share it to Facebook or Instagram or even YouTube, are they shadow banning you because it says TikTok?
Probably.
You know, so I wonder if that you know will slow down the production of things. Because I did notice that a lot of people who got a lot of views on like Facebook Reels and stuff, it don't be having TikTok on there. I've never seen a video that has a lot of views have TikTok on there. So note this up. I might have to start making videos in a different editing program and then uploading it to all the other platforms so that there's an original unwatermarked version. So yeah, I learned something. So third teacher from Colorado school district dies after suspected meningitis case. And that was a few days ago. So ain't no telling if it has progressed, but there has been meningitis cases, y'all. So watch out look for the signs, research the signs, because you don't necessarily have to die from meningitis. There are some distinctive signs of meningitis. So get yourself familiar with those signs and symptoms. It says, say what? Drunk Florida man breaks into a police department to take a shower. He said he really needed that shower, y'all. He didn't care if he was going to jail after. At least he was going to go to jail clean.
That's Florida.
Fucking Florida. All right, so this creepy video, I'm making this big so y'all can see it. The video is not playing, but you can see the still shot. This creepy video shows an intruder staring at an Iowa woman, and he starts organizing her shoes as she sleeps. He went in there because he said her house was so dirty, he couldn't take it no more. He had to break in and clean her house. Oh, I
cannot imagine waking up to that. I can't. I
don't even know if she woke up. I think they just saw the video. Did she even wake up? She saw that. Like, that would be like creepy to wake up the next day and check out your video footage and oh my gosh. So Texas teen with the rare disorder revived after being declared dead. Well, good thing that, it turned from a horrible situation to a better situation. So at least, they didn't pass away. This harrowing video warning, it doesn't show anything gory, but it is graphic content. This video shows a Chinese acrobat falling to her death during the show with her husband. It's a very sad situation. 20-year-old woman, this was one of the cases that we were talking about other people who are dealing with the same type of situation this week. 21-year-old woman shot and killed by upstate New York homeowner after pulling into the wrong driveway. And a 9-month pregnant woman was killed by teens who opened fire on her car in a case of mistaken identity. And that is all we have time for, because believe me, there's a lot of other breaking news, but that is all we have time for. I don't have a clip, but Mimi, why don't you talk to us about Nala Barber?
Nala Barber?
The 2-year-old with the battery.
Yes. Okay. So this is a very, very sad story. I had seen it when I was scrolling on TikTok, and so Nyla, I'm not sure what kind of toy she had because her aunt didn't specify the toy, but these toys have batteries in it. It was a little small, like the circular batteries, and
the lithium batteries. Yeah.
Yes. So she swallowed the battery, and once she swallowed the battery, they didn't know that she had swallowed it. First of all, let me say that they didn't know at first that she swallowed the battery. They just know that she started, becoming ill. And so they didn't know, why she was becoming ill. So she went to the doctor and everything. And, while she was at the hospital, she had a bowel movement. And right after she had the bowel movement and the battery came out, she died.
Right.
So basically, the ingredients that are inside of batteries, we all know how hazardous they are, and they can cause death. But children, they don't know that. So when you're looking for toys, try to get toys that aren't battery operated. And so now they're trying to reach out to the retailer and see what can be done, because the battery should not have been able to be easily removed by a child. Exactly. Because usually, batteries, you usually have to take a screwdriver to get them out.
Right.
Or, it's difficult for a lot of adults to get them out. But this particular toy, it was very easy for her to get the battery out. So just make sure that you check your toys before you give them to the children. And like I said, try to get toys that don't have batteries. And if they do, make sure it's something that, like I said, is screwed in very tight that they can't easily open it up and get the battery out. But that is so sad, and we send our prayers and condolences to her family, because I even get toys for my granddaughter, and I always look at them because that's just me. I'm always into something, but I'm always looking to make sure, how safe it and secure the toy is. But we really have to make sure, even if we have to open the package before we give it to somebody for a gift, and just let them know, like, hey, I opened it. I wanted to make sure that, it was secure before I gave it to your child. I'm pretty sure the parents will understand the reason why you opened it before you gave it to the child. But you just have to be careful. Like, you have to pay attention to these toys, because these manufacturers, toys are made so quickly. They're going down the little chain, so they're made so quickly, and a lot of them can be defective.
Yes.
So just pay.
Yes, and we're talking about the lithium batteries. They call them button batteries, but they're also the ones that you put in your watches, the little ones that look like quarters. They have in all different sizes. And, they didn't know she swallowed it until she started vomiting blood and she became unresponsive. So unfortunately, you don't know until it's possibly too late. And maybe her size and her age had a big factor. But, it just eroded and it eroded her esophagus, and she was bleeding internally, and there was a lot of damage done. It's just so horrible to think that something so small can cause so much damage on a person. Even though this was a little person, I did put, this is the video, the picture here of Nala Barber, age 2. And there's just nobody to blame except for the manufacturers. They're really the only ones to blame, because there's no way that this should have been able to have happened.
Nope.
Like Mimi says, most of the time when they're done the right way, you have to unscrew. It's annoying as heck that even when they make toys for older kids, most of the time they still, because even older kids do silly stuff like that. It's not usually till you get to like adult products that it's easy to get to the battery. So I don't even understand how this happened. I don't know who or where or what, but the company definitely needs to be held responsible. They need to recall all those toys that they put out there that are death traps. They need to bring them all back. They need to put something out now, and they need to change the way they are manufacturing these products. And you as parents going forward, because this is a story that they wanted to spread for awareness, okay? They really wanted everybody to spread this story and tell all kind of parents, all right? When you buy these toys, you need to make sure as a parent that those batteries are not accessible without screwdriver or something like that. You need to make sure, and you need to check them regularly to make sure the screw didn't fall out. This is something that we just have to do. And we might have not thought about it before, but please spread the word about this case.
Yes. Like I said, our prayers go out to her, because a lot of parents, like I said, you just moving so quickly with toys. When you're getting toys, a lot of them you don't pay attention to, because you're entrusting the manufacturer that the toy is safe. Right. And that's not always the case. But yeah, I hope that they're able to, reach out to that manufacturer and get through to them, and the toys can be recalled for future purchasers, so they don't have to go through the same thing. I mean, no amount of dollars is going to bring their child back, but at least it will prevent this from happening to another family.
Yeah. But that has been our show for today, y'all. Look, this is all of our information. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Please put the word out there. Please make sure. Look, after we got in trouble for that week, we came back and we got shadow banned big time. Ever since we came back from being on punishment, we are definitely, our videos are not getting seen like they were before. So y'all, please help us out. Get us back into the algorithm by liking, sharing, and subscribing. And, keep rocking with us. Again, this is our email. If you would like to be on the show, if you would like to suggest a topic, or like I said, if you would like to be a guest, this is our email. We are definitely open up to what you guys want us to talk about. And we definitely appreciate all the people who have been supporting us when you guys do, and please continue to rock with us. Mimi?
Yes. And y'all already know what I'm going to say. Y'all already know. Remember to Be kind. You don't understand the importance of being kind because you all see everything that's going on around us in the world. You know, nobody is promised the next second. So please be kind to one another. Just because I may be a different shade than you doesn't mean that I should be treated any differently. Be kind, be respectful, be loving. It's going to always be a time where you're going to disagree with someone else's beliefs or whatnot, and that's okay. Your opinion is your opinion, your beliefs is your beliefs. Stop hurting each other. Love on one another. You don't have to always be there financially to make someone else happy or to try to help their situation. A phone call, a positive phone call, an inspirational text, a hug, a simple hello, how are you doing, can change someone's life. A simple smile, a hug, a handshake can change someone's life. And that is not just me saying that, that is a known fact. That showing appreciation, showing kindness, brightening somebody's day, like especially people that suffer from depression. I know how a simple hello helps me when I'm down. So be mindful, try to do that with others. You know, if you don't have anything nice to say about somebody, don't say anything at all, because when you talk trash about someone, it's going to get back to them one way or another. So just be kind. Remember, mind your business. If somebody wants you to know something or that they're going through, they will tell you. If they don't tell you, then that's fine. Everything is not for everybody.
Just be as supportive as you can.
Right. That's right. That's what it's about, being supportive, you know, and it takes a village. And everybody wants to have a positive village around them. We owe that to ourselves. We owe that to our kids. Do not inflict your trauma on anyone else. If you're going through something, there are so many outlets that you can go and get help. That does not mean that you have to go and try to destroy the next person. So please be mindful to be kind. And we thank you all so very much for joining us each and every night that we're on here from Thursday to Saturday. Be blessed, be safe, be kind.
Yes. And make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know, sometimes we might start at a different hour, but you know where you can what time you can reach us on what days, hit or miss, okay? But we gonna be here. Tomorrow we are gonna be celebrating the Royal Prince Rogers Nelson. It is his anniversary of his going home, and a lot more to come. So stick with us. Have a wonderful night, and you guys be safe. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.